Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw. Welcome back to episode 2 of Breaking Brews. I'm your host, Commander Claw, and we're continuing our conversation about Sami Wildcat Captain, Boros Commander player's new favorite card. I promise you, pretty much she's a good stuff commander in Boros colors. You get to do whatever you want and drop a bunch of artifacts on the battlefield to reduce the cost of your favorite spells. Let's talk about it. Well, look, this is a no-brainer to add fireball type like spells in your deck so you can finish off opponents. If you have 15 treasure tokens and Sami on the battlefield, those treasure tokens are artifacts. So you can tap 15 mana worth of value right there from those treasure tokens. Let's talk about Jaya's Emulating Inferno, a classic fireball for X and double red, legendary sorcery. You got to control a legendary creature, and Jaya's Emulating Inferno deals X damage to each of up to 3 targets. If you got 15 treasure tokens and Sami on the battlefield, they're fueling 15 mana worth of value. Next up, we got Crackle with Power. It confuses players all the time. The easiest way to look at this is you see those 3 X's? So that means you got to tap 3 mana, and that 3 mana will equal 5 damage. Okay? Then you have 2 red. Okay? So look, it's a sorcery. Crackle with Power deals 5 times X damage to each of up to X targets. So you tap, let's negate the 2 red, you already paid for that, and you tap either of those 3 artifacts to deal 5 damage or 3 mana to deal 5 damage. That affinity gets really high, really nasty. So you know what? I've thought about it. A lot of players are afraid to cast high CMC spells. Don't be afraid to cast high CMC spells. You know why? Because they changed the game. Do you want to play very generic, very safe? No, you don't win games like that. You play big spells, big splashy spells that change the game up. Myr Battlesphere is a great card, 7 mana. But remember, we have Sami on the battlefield and we got Affinity. So we're not even paying 7 mana for this. It is a 4/7 body. Artifact creature, Myr Construct. When it enters, create 4 1/1 colors Myr artifact creature tokens. More artifacts for Affinity. Great. It says whenever this creature attacks, you may tap X untap Myrs you control. If you do, this creature gets +X+0 until end of turn and deals X damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. Great. It's a way to burn players on your attack turn. And don't forget, is a great way to burn players when you go to attack on your combat phase. And guess what? It gets better when you have damage multipliers, and you're going to be able to cast a bunch of stuff because more artifacts you're putting on the battlefield. What are we talking about? So, look, we have the Reaver Cleaver here. If this equipment is attached to Sami and she deals damage through double strike, that's 2 times, y'all. 2 times. So let's talk about it. For 2 in a red, legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has trample. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or a planeswalker, create that many treasure tokens. Equipped for 3. So let's say you have enough equipments on the battlefield for Affinity or artifacts. You would pay 1 red mana for the Reaver Cleaver and 3 to equip it. That's a steal of a cost and casting. But Sami would be a 5/5 with double strike, vigilance, and trample. And if she did double strike damage and regular combat damage, that'd be a total of 10 treasure tokens you would make. So I do have to warn you guys. The more treasure tokens and more artifacts and these more artifact commander type of cards that are coming out here, don't think your opponents are not putting in artifact removals. Just saying. Bronze Guardian for 4 and a white has star 5. Okay, artifact creature golem. It's got double strike. Okay, it has ward 2, and it says other artifacts you control have ward 2. Insane. It gets better. Bronze Guardian's power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. So we're playing with a bunch of artifacts anyway. If it is a 5/5, remember it has double strike. So if it deals damage for both phases of combat through double strike, that is 10 damage. It only gets stronger for the amount of artifacts you control. And it gives other artifacts you control have ward 2. My God, that's crazy. So in Magic, there's so many ways you can lose the game. Players do crazy stuff all the time. So you need to have crazy stuff in your deck. Let's talk about the War Report. For 3 and a white, it's an instant. You gain life equal to the number of creatures on the battlefield plus the number of artifacts on the battlefield. All of a sudden, you're gaining a bunch of life. If it's a board filled with creatures and artifacts through all the players, I don't know what to say. This can save you. This can save you. This is a really good card. And you could possibly only pay 1 white mana if Sami's on the battlefield and you have 3 artifacts. What are we talking about here? So, welcome to the very end. Let me know if there's any other cards that you suggest for Sami Wildcat Captain. Otherwise, hey, click on this video to go to episode 3.